after Bruce Wayne unknowingly had a conversation with the Joker, he ran over to the rec center to make sure his girlfriend and the kids were okay after a massive explosion was triggered within the city by Mr. Bloom. And even though nobody was hurt when he arrived, he was confident that somebody was gonna get hurt if they didn't take the kids somewhere safer, because upon escaping captivity while being transferred over to Arkham Asylum, Mr. Bloom revealed that he planted thousands of his power seeds all over the city for anybody to grab, which resulted in the streets erupting into chaos as the citizens of Gotham tried getting their hands on them. But before they could make any progress at all, Bruce realized that the rec center had already been affected when one of the kids there named Liv slowly entered the room bleeding from her arm, revealing that she had taken one of the seeds in hopes of using the powers it granted to take down Mr. Bloom. But unaware of how gruesome and extreme the effects of the seeds were, her body then began a horrific and unnatural transformation until her eyes started glowing, followed by a loud boom. And at this point in the story, we're unsure if the boom was her body exploding or something else having to do with her powers. Jim Gordon, on the other hand, was also in a dilemma of his own at this time, because while trying to crawl out of the wreckage from the recently destroyed Bat Truck, he was not only confronted by an entire Bloom army, but by Mr. Bloom himself, who proceeded to enlarge the size of his body tenfold before parading Jim around the city streets, telling the people of Gotham City that the politicians, police officers, and other people in power were lying gardeners who were pretending to take care of them while they suffered in silence. So instead of standing around with a false sense that the Batman was protecting them, they should take their destinies into their own hands and stop settling for pennies by finding his hidden power seeds. And as Bloom's army continued terrorizing the city streets, Jim tried telling his fellow Gothamites not to listen to Bloom because he was nothing more than an evil liar, but before he could finish making his case, he was completely silenced when Bloom started forcing his roots into his throat to keep him from speaking. So Jerry Powers, who was watching the chaos unfold on a local news station, then ordered one of her men to deploy every single batsuit they had before things got even more out of hand than they already were. And that's when the story goes over to Alfred Pennyworth, who was also watching the chaos unfold inside Wayne Manor. However, soon enough, his observation was interrupted when somebody started aggressively banging on the door to try and get a hold of him. And Alfred knew exactly who this was and that it could only mean the one thing that he had been trying so hard to prevent. So he refused to open the door and tried acting like he couldn't hear anything, but that's when Bruce smashed his way inside, demanding to be taken to his cave to become the Batman once again. But sadly, that's when this issue comes to an end, but if you want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments down below.